Some men are living in cycles they don't even understand, and they've been in those cycles for decades. My name is Eric Wayne Wade. I lead a movement called Mountain Men, where we break the silence, we unmask, and we embrace vulnerability to rise into the men that we were created to be. I thought now would be a good time to reintroduce Mountain Men, who we are, why we exist, who we're here for. I've been getting a lot of people asking some wonderful questions about Mountain Men. So I thought I would take an opportunity, take this time to just kind of share who we are. So let me start by saying we're not a club. This isn't a hobby. This is a lifeline for men who can't put their finger on it, but they know something's not right and they just can't figure it out. Some men spend years, sometimes their entire lives, fighting the same battles. Anger that they can't explain, addictions that they can't break, sometimes habits that they can't shake that destroy their relationships with people that they care about the most. And here's the truth, those battles, most of the time they didn't just start last year. Many of them didn't start even when we became adults. They started when we were just young boys. Maybe for you, it was an early death or the absence of a parent. Maybe you were brought up in an abusive household. Maybe you were introduced to sex way too early or just experienced trauma that you never told anybody about. Now, what I didn't realize and what I've come to learn that most men don't know is that those events, they don't just hurt us emotionally. They actually rewire and change the physiology of our brain. And so what we do as a coping mechanism is we create a mask or we develop a habit in an attempt to not thrive, but survive. And what happens is that mask or that habit and acts as a shield at first, but eventually becomes a prison, a cage that keeps us from being the man that we were created to be. For me, something happened when I was about 3 or 4 years old, and I didn't know it at the time, but it would play a major role in the cycles and the patterns that I was trapped in until my late 30s. It wasn't until I learned that certain events that happen when we're in those developmental stages can dictate so much of how we behave as men that I was able to identify my enemy, give it a face, give it a name, and fight it more effectively. And through that, I know what freedom feels like. I know what it's like to be on the hamster wheel of destructive behaviors, hurting the people that love me the most, only to fix a behavior for a couple of years and get right back on the hamster wheel. I know how hopeless that feels. I know the guilt and the shame that comes with that, feeling that I'm not worthy of the good things in life because of what I'm carrying and what I'm doing. But I know the weight that is lifted and what it feels like to have that mask removed. I know what it is. And it's my passion to share it with other people. Here's the thing. Most men are focused on the symptom, the alcoholism, the drug addiction, the porn addiction, the anger. But they're not focused on the root cause. They're fighting an enemy that has a wrong name, has a wrong face. And until you get to the root cause, you'll never truly win. I learned a lot of this through recovery programs and recovery ministries, which I'm such a huge fan of. I led a few recovery ministries for years, and I'm still very closely connected to those groups. But something else I've also learned is that there are so many men that need this type of healing that will never step into a recovery program or an addiction program. And that is why I created Mountain Men. It's a place where men can heal. It's a place where they can meet their true selves. A place without stigma, without the labels, without the sideways glances, just men doing the deep work together. If you're tired of running, you're done hiding, you're ready to find out why you are the way that you are, Mountain Men is here. We're not going anywhere. This isn't a journey about fixing you because you're not broken. It's about unmasking you so you can finally become the man you were created to be. So here's the thing. Here's how we do the work. We've got a workshop that's coming up, and our first launch will be in October. Now, those spots are already full, but it's a 10-week program, a 10-week workshop where we're going to do a deep dive. And we're going to get to the root of a lot of the destructive behaviors that many of us have been stuck in for years. In the workshop, you'll get a few things. You'll get the book that has the lessons. You'll also have an online platform that has videos with the lessons. In the online platform, there's also questions and homework that you'll do each week. And you'll do the homework in this book. This is just a journal. So you'll have chapters and questions in this book, videos and other questions in the online workshop, and you'll answer all of that in the journal. And we'll get together weekly to see what's been unmasked and revealed. It's going to be challenging, but that's how you know that transformation is present. So again, the first one is in October. It is 10 weeks. Those spots are filled, but through November and December, I'll be taking signups for the second cohort, which will launch January of 2026. So if you want to get your new year started off right, this is a way to do it. I'll be updating you all on how to get signed up for those, but I just wanted you to kind of see the insight of Mountain Men and what's inspired this movement. I've had so much light bulb moments in my life that didn't come up as great ideas, but they revealed themselves in just massive mistakes. And I repeated them over and over and over again for decades, hurting myself, wasting time, hurting people that cared about me. I found the key to unlock that prison. I just want to share it with you. Follow for more and share this with a man who's ready to be introduced to his true self and who he was created to be.